Hello, my most revered subscribers and viewers from wherever you are watching this video. You are highly revered. And then today we are here to do a very interesting discussion. Once again, we have done videos inviting our brothers and sisters in the diaspora to visit Ghana, and as well as even those that are resident in Ghana and anywhere on this continent. Kindly come to Ghana. We await your arrival. And then today it's going to be quite interesting because it's like a series that we are doing, and then we followed it up to this level. We've done videos how you can apply for your visa wherever you are coming from, and how you're going to park if you want to be a Ghanaian, what are the processes or the procedures to follow for you to be able to acquire Ghanaian citizenship. Now we want you to come. So what will make your stay in Ghana a memorable one for you when you plan to visit? So these are the areas that we are going to take you to, or you need to be, to make your visit a memorable one for you. And then we are going to help you do that. Once we have Berto of Renaissance Culture Tours, he is the man. He's going to take you to every interesting place in this country and even the whole of West Africa. You understand what I'm saying? So without wasting much of your time, let's go straight to him, and then want him to quickly take us through which are the interesting places, tour sites that you need to visit that will make your stay a memorable one. So Berto, once again, you are now a regular face on Authentic Plus TV. So you meet your people again.
Yeah. First of all, I want to say hello to all our viewers and our subscribers who has been following the series that we've done so far. Yeah, so I welcome them to another series. Yeah.
So Berto, now, you know, our brothers and sisters that we are inviting them to come. I mean, December, as you have already mentioned in the earlier, discussion that we had, is going to be really packed with serious activities, fun, display of culture, and everything that comes along with. And then as far as their security too is concerned. Now, we want to, let's outline. I want it to come from you, that because you have been taking, them round anytime they come to Ghana. So what are some of the interesting places that gives them memory that when they return, they want to come back again, or they refer to other people to come? First of all, where do you want us to start from?
Well, thank you so much for the question. The country is now divided into 16 regions. Yeah, but we cannot talk about, time will not allow us to talk about all these interesting places or the tourist sites in all these 16 regions of Ghana. So we, for the sake of this conversation, we will narrow it to some regions and all that. But there are all interesting places all over the 16 regions that one can visit if they have time and all that. They're very interesting, and different cultures and different way of life in Ghana. And first of all, since Accra is the arriving city that most of our travelers or those in the diaspora they arrive to, so we can start in Accra, and in Accra we can visit a lot of places. There are so many tourist places.
But the interesting places, or because it is just the arriving city or the arrival city, we have to take them. Or Accra has interesting tourist sites.
Yes, Accra has interesting tour sites. That is why most travelers who comes to this country start their tours in Accra and ended up in other places or region.
Okay.
Yeah. In Accra, there are a lot of tourist sites, like I mentioned. I wanted to say earlier on, we have the Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park.
Okay.
Talk about it. Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park, which has a mausoleum inside the Memorial Park, and also the library and the museum. This is where most travelers goes to these places to learn about our first president, Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, learn about his Pan-African ideas, and the same place is also the last resting place of our first president who got us independence from the British or the colonial rule. So,
Okay.
yeah. And can also visit the Independence Square. Inside the Independence Square, you will see the Black Star Gate.
Okay.
You can go on top of it and take all your pictures. Also, the Independence Arch is also there. There are unknown soldier, a statue of an unknown soldier also there. And it's a beautiful place. You can take all the pictures that you want.
I like the unknown soldier.
The unknown
because
soldier.
Nobody knows him, and he's always out
There's
there.
always out there. So the Independence Square actually is a symbol of unity for us Ghanaians. It represents unity for us Ghanaians, and also it's a remembrance. It was built to remember the struggle that we have to go through to before we got independence
Okay.
in 6 March 1957. So many people, let me tell you something, Jubil. Many people think that the Independence Square is where our first president stood to declare Ghana as independence, or from independence from colonial rule. Its Independence Square is not the place that he
You declared Ghana as independent.
independent.
That's
yeah.
not the place.
That's not the place.
So where is the place?
So the place is actually the Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park. That was where Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah declared Ghana as independence from colonial rule, from
Wow.
the British. Yes. You know, before the independence, when the we were under colonial rule, or when the British were
Yeah,
here,
The British, yeah.
the Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park used to be a race course. It used to be a place that they, like a clubhouse for, and the only people who are allowed to go there is the British
Oh, okay.
and their family.
Wow.
Ghanaians or black people were not allowed to go into that place. So it was just a restricted area for only restricted
The
area
white people.
for only white people
Oh, okay.
or the colonial masters
The
and
British.
their British to go there. So when we got independence in 6 March 1957, it was prudent. I mean, it was so prudent and it was so important that we should have our independence celebration in the same area that we were not allowed to visit or to go in our own country.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like it. That. I'm not cutting, but that tells who Kwame Nkrumah was.
Yeah.
You know, his ideologies, and
Yeah.
he was a man of a high
Yeah.
knowledge and wisdom.
Yeah.
Because for him to say that, okay, after, so it means he had planned that the moment I gain independence,
Yes.
I will go to where there are blockades,
Yeah.
there are barriers to the black people.
Yeah.
That's what, because symbolizing real independence, that's the way I see
Yeah.
it. Now I'm going to stand in the midst of the white location
Yeah.
and then declare Ghana
Ghana,
as independent.
Yeah, I think what was going through his mind was that, you see, how would my people believe that we have
Truly
actually
independent.
got independence, or we are free and we can take our own decision? So it was very, very prudent on his side to have the independence celebration or to declare independence on the same ground that we were not allowed to.
Yes.
Our fathers were not allowed, our grandparents were not allowed to visit or to go in their own country. So it was proved that alone tells us that, or telling the people around that time, that you have independence now. You are actually free.
You can come here.
I mean, you can come here. You are free.
You are
I mean,
free. If you are black, and then you can come to the
it's
polo
like
grounds, right?
a prisoner who has been released from prison. You were restricted. You couldn't go out. You were kept in a place for like 20 years, 10 years.
This is like house arrest. Is that not it?
That's how
You're a prisoner in your own house.
Yeah, in your own country. So it's fine. So now, I think it was a very good decision that he took at that time to have our independence celebration on the same ground that we were not allowed to go.
Very symbolic.
Very symbolic. We also have in Accra, we have the Ghana National Museum.
Okay.
Yeah, in the Ghana National Museum is where we have a lot of artifacts. We have interesting stuff over there that describe how the culture of Ghanaians, different cultures that we have here, and the way of life of
our people,
different cultures and other kind of things. And also, it also in there also tells about the struggle and the phases that we have gone through as a country to become independent country, and how Ghanaians were living in the olden days to the present Ghana.
Okay.
You understand? So if you really want to know how history about Ghana, how we used to dress, for example, in the colonial days, or maybe before colonial, how we used to the culture. So
they walk you through everything.
So you will be walked through when you go to the Ghana National Museum. You get to know all this about our chieftaincy issues, different tribes that we have in Ghana, and what they stand for, and all that. All that history, we will get to know it when you go to the
different languages, and different chiefs and kings, the way they used to dress.
They used to dress and all
that. Their houses or palaces that they have, because in the north their palace is definitely different from the southern chief's palace. But when you go to the museum, you get to know all that.
Yeah, and one interesting thing is that maybe one may not get opportunity to go to all the 16 regions of Ghana. So going to the Ghana National Museum, you will get to know how some of the places that you can visit. You get to know the food that these people like. You get to know the different tribes, because so you can know the culture by going there, knowing about other regions and what they stand for and what their belief system, their way of life, which is their culture, and all that, without visiting them.
Okay.
You understand?
I get it. So, but however, if they want to, still they have time and
they want to go to other.
That one they can have personal experience with the food.
Yeah.
And then the meeting the people themselves, the way they dress and all this kind of stuff, and learn, different culture altogether. So, what other interesting place do we have?
Yeah. Also the Jamestown Lighthouse.
Okay.
Yeah, it's also available, and they can also visit Jamestown, which is the British Accra. You see, Jamestown is one of the oldest town in Ghana. I mean, people, they used to proud themselves that Jamestown is the old Accra, is the British Accra. That is where Accra started from. That is why sometimes they say. And when you go to Jamestown, you get to see a lot of colonial buildings, and they actually have the British side of Jamestown, and the Dutch side.
That's correct.
And you can actually see by the architecture how the houses over there, those colonial buildings was being built. You'll be able to know that yes, This is how, if you have been to, one of the things that anytime I go there, one of the things that strikes me is the architecture or the demarcation or how the British side looks like. It is very spacious. The road network, I mean, how they make the place, it actually looks like that of and the buildings actually look like that of so if they call the place Old Accra or British Accra, that, I mean, so in Jamestown you get to know about.
Do you mean to say that when you go to Britain, that's the way Britain was planned?
Yes, the plan over there looks, let me say, architectural wise, it looks very professional. Even though it's an old city, but the road network, how it's connected to each other and other things, it's not congested over there. You understand?
Okay.
Even though they are pretty old houses, colonial buildings over there, but the road network, how it's connected to one.
So you are so much impressed about the road networks.
Yes, I'm so much impressed about.
And then their buildings.
And the buildings. I mean, it tells us that we were not born at that time. We can go there and learn about it, and we can see how the British and the Dutch were living with our own people before we got independence. So in there, if you go there, you will see a lot of, because the white people, I mean, they were living with the black people. Some of them married, or some of them got our Ghanaians pregnant. So you can see a lot of people who are light skinned also over there. Yeah. And you go there, you see the road, how do you call the road signs? You see a lot of names like Van der Poel. You understand? You know, you and I know that Van der Poel is not a Ghanaian name. It's a colonial.
One striking thing about the place, when the British and the Dutch were living, what separated them was a road.
Yeah, it was a road. Yeah, it was
and
a road.
And that if the Dutch wanted to come and do business with the British, they needed a pass.
Yeah.
Master, all this were happening in our own country. You understand? Yeah. All this were happening. They needed a pass to be able to come to the British side, to be able to do business with them, and then go back after the business.
But I really like the British side because of the reasons I told you earlier on. And I think, you know, during the colonial days or era, you know, these colonial masters or whatever, these white people, these Europeans, they were more, the reason why they needed a pass to go there, I think, because there was a lot of territorial fights about who has this place, who is in control of this place, who should trade with these people from this side and all those things. So there were a lot of,
very much.
I mean, the British and the Dutch, there were a lot of controversies, over territories, who should control here, who has these people, who owns these people, and all that. Yeah. So I think that is the reason why you needed a pass to go to. They needed a pass to go to each other.
All this territorial conflict was not in our favor.
Yes, it wasn't in our favor.
It was in their favor.
In their favor.
Against us.
Against us,
but anyway, that is past and gone. That is history.
Yeah, but we need to tell our own story.
We need to tell our story.
You understand? We need to tell our story. You see, by telling our story, that is when we understand how far we have come. And we won't allow that to happen to us anymore. If you don't know where you are going, don't know the map to the place, you'll get missing. So we need to know what happens to us, why certain things is happening to us, so that we will be vigilant and will be careful when we are dealing with people like that. You understand?
It informs in decision making. As we speak now, there's a debate ongoing in the United States about the reparation fees to be paid to, you know, the African descent in the diaspora.
I think it happens in Accra last week. There was a forum, a 3-day forum
Okay.
organized by the UN about the repatriation and all that. Yeah, it was hosted in Kempinski Hotel.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a 3-day
Okay.
forum. Yeah,
Reparation fee.
yeah. I mean, it was all about the reparation
Okay.
talk, whether Africans should be
Compensated, yeah.
or not. So there was a whole kind of dignitaries were there, president of different countries were all in Accra at the forum.
Yeah.
So we will get there.
We'll look at the reparation
Yeah.
fee and the compensation and all
Yeah.
that, and the amount of money that there is, whether there's any amount, just to repair certain things and the compensation. I think that would be good if anything is paid. So now, are we done in Accra?
Well, there are a lot of places, like I said, when you
so
move a little bit further from Accra, you can go to the Shai Hills,
Okay.
where you can see some animals,
Like what?
like maybe the antelopes,
Okay.
the giraffe,
Giraffe? Zebra?
zebra, yeah, monkeys, bamboos, and all that. It's a reserve, a forest reserve, where we have some few animals over there. You can learn about them and all that. And in Accra, you can also go to the Oja Fort or the James Fort as well. You can go to those places too. It was also to learn about the slave trade, because slave trade also happens in Accra, not only in Cape Coast. There were other places there. There's also a place, a castle, one castle in Accra, which is the Christian Borg Castle.
Okay.
That used to be the seat of our former president until our new presidential palace was built, which is the Flaster, the Jubilee or Flaster House was built. Before the Jubilee or the Flaster House, the Christian Borg Castle was a seat of the government. It's open for visitors to also go there and see and also tour the place and all that. AWEB Du Bois Center or Du Bois Center also is in Accra. You can visit to learn about Pan-Africanism. WEB Du Bois was invited by our first president, Dr. Osagyefo, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, to complete an encyclopedia. And when he came, he fell in love with this country, and he was given a place to stay until he passed away. So his grave is at his center, the Du Bois Center. And when you go there, you learn a lot about him, what he said, his philosophies, the books, his achievements, his Pan-African ideas, and all that. You can learn about all that also.
Dr. W.E.B. Du Bois.
Du Bois also there. Then also the Art Center, the Accra Art Center.
Okay.
You go there, you also learn about our culture. If you want to buy any artifacts, sculptures, woodworks, painting, African clothes, and all that, Art Center is one stop.
You get everything.
You get everything that you want. You want to get, and also you could go there and you learn about our culture at the Art Center. How also a place to learn about the Ghanaian culture.
Okay.
And also lastly, the Mokola market, which is one of the largest open markets in Accra. So in there you can do all your shopping, or you can see how Ghanaians interact in the market, how the locals interact. They do buying and selling, the bargaining, the pushing, ago, ame, and all these phrases that they use over there, and see how Ghanaian, because it's very fascinating, because it's in other countries like in Europe, and it's not like that.
It's not like that.
Like in an open market that you can get everything that you want, and there's so many people. This one pushing you, this one, everybody is struggling.
You need to pass through certain struggles
before you get and all this. It's not like that. So it's an experience that I will encourage travelers to experience. I mean, go there and try to buy one or two items and see how Ghanaians do business or interact, buyers and sellers interact, is a very nice experience. And the Makola market.
So you want them to have that interaction.
Yes,
of buying and then selling goods. That's our way of.
Because they are used to only going to the malls and all those kind of things, going to
cafes
and all those things. But here you can get everything from foodstuffs to clothing to anything that you can talk of. You can actually get in the street. Ghana is the only country. Ghana is one of the countries that you can actually do all your shopping but without at one location. You can actually get everything. You can even get all your groceries in traffic before you get home. You can get everything. So it's actually a very good experience.
Let's move out of Accra.
Okay, so since Eastern Region is very close to us, Eastern Region share border with Greater Accra, which is the capital.
Okay.
So in Eastern Region, there are a lot of waterfalls. There are a place like waterfalls. Example of waterfalls is the Boti Falls. At the Boti Falls, you'll be able to see one of the biggest falls that we have, waterfalls that we have in Ghana. And Boti Falls was actually built by our, not discovered, excuse me. It was actually built by our Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, our first president. When you go there, you will see a hotel, or a guest house that he built, that they use government.
He liked the place.
He likes the place. There? Our first president was much into tourism.
Okay.
So he was somebody who loved nature and loved tourism a lot. So he built, when that place was discovered, all those things, he actually built a guest house over there. Well, now it's currently there. They call it Kwame Nkrumah Guest House inside the Boti Falls. If you go to the Boti Falls,
okay,
you see there. In the Boti Falls, around the falls, you can see the caves. You can do a lot of hiking over there to go to the Umbrella Rock. You see in an Umbrella Rock, you see the tray-headed palm tree. In the same Eastern Region, you see the Tetekwashi farm, cocoa farm.
Okay.
This Tetekwashi cocoa farm is the first cocoa farm that we have in Ghana. When Tetekwashi brought cocoa beans from Vanavrupo to Ghana, that was the first farm that he planted it. And ever since, we have cocoa in abundance, and we are one of the largest producers of cocoa in the world and also in Africa. Yeah. So that farm is still in existence. You can go there, taste some of the beans, taste some of the cocoa, and see how the process cocoa and all those kind of things to become chocolate and use it for various items or products. Also, same Eastern Region, we have the Aburi Botanical Gardens. It's also there. You see a lot of trees, a lot of history about trees, and all those about the garden as well. That garden was actually a place that our colonial masters were living.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, before, yeah. So it's also a very historic place for people to go and visit. There are other, not only the Boti Falls, there are Adum Falls, Asinafo, Asinama Fort. There are a lot of
falls.
Not only Boti Falls.
Has a lot of falls.
A lot of falls, waterfalls over there because of the landscape,
okay,
the mountainous place, how it looked like. So there are a lot of things there. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now, can we move to other region?
Yeah, from there we can go to the Central Region.
Okay.
Yeah, Central Region is known of its. It's also known of its colonial way. You understand? There are a lot of colonial buildings or structures over there, and in Central Region, you get to visit before you get to Cape Coast. You can visit the Asin Manso
Asin
Slave River.
Okay.
You see, the Asin Manso Slave River was a slave market. It was a slave market where slaves used to sell slaves over there. You know, in those times, during the slave trade, they used to bring slaves from all over, from the south, all over, from the north and all that, and they walked so many miles, days to Asin Manso. Then Asin Manso is when they are going to get their last bath, and they will be branded. They will be because they are going to sell them. And Asin Manso is closer to, not very close. Even with the car, you get to Cape Coast for like maybe in an hour or more. So this is the distance after branding them and giving them taking the last bath at the Asin Manso Slave River. They will sell them over there, and some will be taken to the Cape Coast Castle or the Elmina Castle. Then from there they will be taken.
How did they brand them? When you say they branded them, how?
Yeah, because they use hot metal. They put metal in hot metal, and they give them each slave.
Give them marks.
They give them marks. I mean, they brand them.
Okay.
So before the branding, they will have to clean them.
Oh, okay.
They have to wash themselves in that river.
Oh, okay.
That's the river for them, because when you are going to sell something, when you are going to sell something, I think
It
you
must
have
be
to.
clean.
It must be clean. So they will apply shea butter on their skin for them to look attractive.
Oh, okay.
For
buyers.
the buyers who want to buy them to the Cape Coast Castle. So some of them were, according to history, some of them were left over. Those who were weak, and after all this
Days of
months of walking barefooted, being in chains and shackles and all coming all the way, some of them were weak.
Okay.
And all that. So some of them also died at Asin Manso Slave River. They died even before they were taken to the Cape Coast or the Elmina Castle. They died. So it's also a graveyard for slaves.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a lot of slaves were buried over there.
Oh, really?
They just opened a place and buried them, not a befitting burial over there. So from there, we can also visit the Kakum National Park.
Okay.
Yeah, you can walk on the canopy, and also you learn about a lot of species. Yeah, Kakum National Park has a lot of species also over there.
The canopy walk is my master.
So before the canopy walk, you do some hiking.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Until you get. So lovers of hikers, you if you want to really do hiking, I think the best place is the Kakum National Park, and you get opportunity to walk on the 7 canopies that they have there. But if you're afraid, you can do the shorter way.
The first one, and then you branch.
And you branch and
even that one is not easy.
they will come. I mean, there's always a first time.
Yeah,
it's something.
Yeah.
Then in Cape Coast Castle.
Okay.
Cape Coast Castle is a place that they can also visit to learn about the slave trade, and also to familiarize ourselves with the sufferings and inhuman behavior or inhuman treatment that was given to our forefathers before they were taken to an unknown land. In there, you see the slave dungeons, you see the door of no return, which is now declared as the door of return. Yeah, so now when you walk through the door of no return, you'll be able to walk back. Yeah. Cape Coast Mina Castle is there, which is there. We can also visit the Elmina Castle, which is St. George's. It used to be St. George's Castle. Elmina Castle is the same as St. George's Castle. It is the largest and the oldest castle in Ghana.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, among the 3 castles that we have in Ghana, major castles and fortin castle that we have in Ghana, Elmina Castle or St. George's Castle is the biggest.
And the oldest.
So
that's where the Portuguese settled first.
This is where the Portuguese, it was built by the Portuguese, but it was later taken over by the The Dutch also came there, and the British were the last people who before the British was the Dutch who took over, and they sold it to the British to use it. But later on, that place became a training center for military. They were training their not military, like police depot and all those, and when the colonial time and all that. So, but let me tell you this: when you go, you look at the history of these 3 castles that we have here. You could actually, history is being told that the Cape Coast Castle was actually was castle that was built specifically for slave trade.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because if we look at the architecture of Cape Coast Castle, you actually see how they built the tunnels to hide the slaves, our ancestors,
in a dungeon,
and the dungeons and all that. It's clear that you see that they actually plan. It wasn't something that they turned. But the St. George's Castle, which is the Elmina Castle, was a trading post. And later on, they changed their mind. You know, when these white people came, they said they are coming to trade with us. They brought us, introduced Christianity to us. But later on, they realized that no, these people are so strong, and these people, and they started this.
They needed us.
They changed their mind. But I would say that they didn't come. They know what exactly they were coming. They were coming for. It wasn't to trade with us, but they came with that mind, deceive our people, and tell them that we are coming to trade with you. We are just going to buy, because the reason why the Portuguese came into started from Elmina because there were a lot of gold over there.
Oh, okay.
The name, the Elmina, was actually a place of gold. A place of gold.
Even at the shores, that's what the history tells.
There were a lot of, So, Elmina Castle, Cape Coast Castle, that's where you can see. You can also, inside Cape Coast, Elmina, you can also see the cemetery. The cemetery, there's a white people cemetery also there. And
for the Portuguese?
For the Portuguese and all this. There's a Dutch cemetery. It's a Dutch for the Dutch. The Dutch actually built a cemetery that's where they buried all the Dutch who died over there. And there are some few colonial buildings. You know, actually the whole Elmina Township was raided down. They raided down all that place. So it was built again and all that.
Oh, really?
So in Cape Coast you can visit all those places in Cape Coast.
Yeah. So we welcome you. Come down, let's do the tour. Come and immerse yourself in the African culture, the African history. Know your history, know your culture, and know how far as black people we have, struggled all the way through this slave trade and all that. And I appreciate the fact that there is a reparation conversation going on to at least have, certain, compensation for the black people or the African community in the diaspora and everywhere on this continent. I think it's a good start, though. I mean, that's what we can do. That's history. So now, so which place again?
Yeah, then we'll go to the Ashanti region.
Okay.
Yeah.
The land of gold.
The land of gold. In the Ashanti region, we'll visit Kumasi. Ashanti region is big, but you can't visit everywhere.
Okay.
So you go to Kumasi. On your way to Kumasi, you can stop by at Bonjure.
Okay.
When you get to Adjoso, you can turn and go to Bonjure to learn about the history of Kente, how Kente weaving started. Bonjure and Adawomasi is place that the Kente started. You understand? So you learn about the history, the different types of Kente that we have in Ghana and how it's been, the colors, how they get all these things and all that. You can also try your hands on sitting the loop
hands on the weaving of
and the weaving of the Kente. You can actually, they will take you through, and after same place at Adawomasi, born and raised, you can have your naming ceremony. There's a place that you can have a naming ceremony and to connect with the family and get a Ghanaian name. The chiefs will meet you. You go to the palace. Ceremony will be performed. Certain rites will be performed, and to give you a name that, and so you can reclaim your name. I call it reclaiming your name.
Wow.
Your name that was deprived from you. Yeah. So African Americans can reclaim their names at the Adawamasi or Adawamasi Palace.
Okay.
And before then, they can also learn about the kente weaving and the history about Ghana, kente and all that. And then, same Kumasi, you go to the Menchia Palace Museum.
Okay.
Learn about the Ashanti Kingdom. The Ashantis, one of the biggest ethnic group we have in Ghana. Learn about them, their history, the history between the Ashantis and the British, and all that. You also learn about the Otumfuo and the past Ashanti kings,
Okay.
and all that. Then the Prempeh the Second Museum, Nana Prempeh the Second Museum is also learn about the museum. Kumasi Cultural Center, learn about the culture of Ghana, different cultures, and how those kind of things can be learned. Then Okomfanoche Sword Center site, which is also in Kumasi, you learn about the Ashanti priest who was called Okomfanoche, who commanded the. So history is being told that he commanded the golden stool
from the skies.
From the sky. You can also learn about that history. And one interesting place about the Okomfanoche Sword Center is that history is being told that he actually placed a sword on the ground, and up to now nobody has been able to. So many years.
Nobody has been able to.
I think it's about 300 years or something years. Nobody has been able to remove this from the ground. I'm told that when the late Muhammad Ali visited Ghana, he tried, Muhammad Ali and all he tried to remove the sword from the Ghana. I mean, history being told that the sword is the stability of the Ashanti Kingdom, and the day that the sword is going to be taken from the ground, that's what history is doing. So it's a unity.
The history will end.
Yeah,
like the unity, the whole Ashanti
Kingdom
will be broken down.
There will be the end of the kingdom. That is what history is being told, because it's a symbolic place, and it symbolizes the unity of. Then you'll be able to. You can also visit in the Ashanti region. You'll be able to visit the Kumasi Zoo if you want to see some animals and all, and also the famous Kejetia market, the largest open market in Ghana. There again, you'll be able to interact with sellers, traders, women. You can see how they carry things on their head and be selling and calling customers and everything. You'll get that experience and all that. So same in Kumasi, the Armed Forces Museum.
Okay.
So there you can visit the Armed Forces Museum, and other Yasantua, Nana Yasantua Museum is also in Ejoso in Kumasi. You can also visit. Yasantua was the Queen Mother of Ejoso, who single-handedly fought the British soldiers. A woman who went to war with the British, and you learn about her. I don't want to say much. I don't know. I just want to say.
So this is just a teaser.
The teaser.
Yeah.
When you go there, you'll be able to learn more about the late Queen Mother Yasantua and all that. So Kumasi is also a very vibrant city, and I will urge everyone to visit Kumasi. Add Kumasi to your itinerary if you are visiting Ghana.
Hello, precious viewers, my treasured and most revered subscribers. I appreciate you so much. Kindly share this video to everybody that is, closer to you, your neighbors, your friends, or your WhatsApp groups. Every group that you are on, kindly put this video up there and then convince them to subscribe for us. So, Beto, your final word.
Yeah, so my final word is that December in Ghana is just around the corner, and Ghana is getting too hot. It's getting too hot. Everybody, the whole attention is on Ghana now. So if you are not coming, then you are going to miss. So I'm entreating everyone to come. And when they come, well, I'm available. You can contact Renaissance Culture Tour on all social media platforms for all your Ghana and West Africa tour. It will take you there to all these places that I've talked about. We'll draw an itinerary for you and take you there and have a memorable experience and unforgettable experience with you.
Yeah, so hello, viewers. We have come to the end of today's discussion. Kindly subscribe to Authentic Plus TV and share for everybody to have it. It's very important for me. Please, I'm pleading with you, kindly subscribe through Authentic Plus TV, and then let's grow together, and then for us to be able to reach far and get this message to our brothers in the diaspora, and then everywhere. As an African, you need to know your history, you need to know where we have come from and where we have gotten to and where we are going. It's really important. See you in the next video. It has been your man, Jibril.